Many military aircraft have a treasure trove of stories from the battlefields of days gone by. However, it's unlikely that anyone's capable of writing such an impressive treatise of military glory as the A-10 Warthog attack aircraft. Powerful engines and massive weapons make it a formidable opponent on the battlefield, and its unique architecture allows it to survive even in the most hellish of conditions. But will this be enough to keep it in service for the next decade? Let's find out. The A-10 was born at the height of the Cold War in 1966 as part of the AX, or Attack Experimental Program, the goal of which was to create a CAS, Close Air Support aircraft, capable of filling the then existing gaps in the U.S. Air Force in escort and fire suppression functions. The secondary task of the device was to guide other aircraft to attack enemy ground targets, in fact, turning it into the Forward Air Controller Airborne, FACA. The development of the A-10 was entrusted to Fairchild Republic, which had previously created hundreds of military aircraft, C-119 Flying Boxcar, P-19, and others. The Fairchild team rolled out the first two YA-10 prototypes, flew them for the first time in May of 1972, and by January 1973 had won a friendly duel with Northrop for the right to create a new attack aircraft. In 1974, the Fairchild aircraft secured the right to become the main attack aircraft of the U.S. Air Force, making an additional flight against the Ling Temco Vought A-7D Corsair II, the main attack aircraft of the time. The aircraft got its official name, Thunderbolt II, from its iron great-grandfather, the World War II fighter bomber P-47 Thunderbolt. But today the A-10's better known by its nickname, the Warthog, which pilots gave it because of its distinctive African boar-like nose. The A-10 received large straight wings and equally impressive ailerons, giving it an unprecedented maneuverability at low flight speeds and very low altitudes. All put together, this gave the aircraft the ability to loiter for long periods of time, operating at altitudes below 1,000 feet with visibility of about 1.5 miles. The large straight wings and rugged chassis with low-pressure tires also allowed engineers to optimize the Warthog for operation on relatively short and harsh runways close to the front lines. The aircraft could operate from short, uneven runways even under heavy artillery loads, damaged air bases, and also from straight sections of road. The attack aircraft was initially designed with an eye to the possibility of service at bases with limited capabilities in the thick of combat operations. But the cool thing about this is that almost every part of the left and right sides of the plane is interchangeable, including the engines, main landing gear, and vertical stabilizers. Looking at the plane, the most striking thing is its General Electric TF34 GE100 turbofan engines. Their unusual arrangement decreases ingestion risk and allows the engines to run while the aircraft is being maintained and rearmed by ground crews. For a similar purpose, the Warthog wings were mounted so that they were closer to the ground. The high bypass ratio of the 6:1 engines contributes to low infrared signature, and their location directs the exhaust gases above the tail, further protecting them from detection by enemy infrared homing surface-to-air missiles. To make the A-10 even more effective in combat, the cockpit and parts of the systems were covered with 1,200 pounds of titanium aircraft armor, capable of withstanding direct hits from armor-piercing and high-explosive shells up to 23 millimeters in caliber, and also equipped with a dual hydraulic flight system and a mechanical system as a reserve in case loss of hydraulics. In manual reverse mode, the device is sufficiently controllable under favorable conditions to return to base even in the event of the loss of one of the two engines, half of the tail, one elevator, and half of the wing. It's hard to imagine how surprised the repair workers were when, during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the A-10 of pilot Kim Campbell came under enemy anti-aircraft fire, suffering damage to one engine and hydraulic system, and at the same time successfully flew to the base on manual reverse. The A-10's fuel safety is also at a high level to reduce the likelihood of damage to the fuel system. All 4 fuel tanks are located near the central part of the aircraft and separated from the fuselage. Simply put, enemy shells will first have to penetrate the aircraft's skin before they can even reach the outer skin of the fuel tanks. And even so, damaged fuel lines can self-seal. If the damage exceeds the tank's self-sealing capabilities, check valves prevent fuel from entering the damaged tank. Additionally, most fuel system components are located inside the tanks, so component failure will not result in fuel loss. And well, if you're very unlucky and manage to lose all 4 tanks, 2 self-sealing sumps contain a fuel supply for at least 250 miles of flight. Okay, a reliable body and versatility are great, but what to attack enemies with? For a closer acquaintance with enemy equipment and infantry, the A-10 has a machine hidden away. Or rather, it's GAU A-8 Avenger autocannon. To be honest, taking into account the parallel development of the GAU 8 by General Electric and the A-10 by Fairchild Republic, a fair suspicion creeps in that this device in principle was created around the gun. It was installed slightly to the left side, the barrel at the firing position is on the right side and aligned with the center line of the aircraft. The gun is comparable in size to the VW Beetle and is capable of destroying the enemies of democracy at a rate of 3,900 rounds per minute with projectiles the size of beer bottles. They were specially created using ultra-heavy and ultra-dense depleted uranium to defeat most ground targets, including tanks. For this, the A-10 received the formidable nickname Tank Destroyer. The gun's often loaded with 1,174 rounds of ammunition with a maximum capacity of 1,350 rounds. And in order to protect shells from enemy fire, armor plates of different thicknesses are provided between the aircraft skin and the drum, designed to detonate flying shells. The Avenger's accuracy is as impressive as its size, with 80% of shots hitting a 40-foot diameter circle, even when flying at 4,000 feet. In addition to its powerful cannon, the A-10 is equipped with AGM-65 Maverick air-to-surface missiles, capable of targeting objects using electro-optical or infrared systems and hitting targets that the cannon cannot reach. During Operation Desert Storm, due to the lack of special FLIR cameras, forward-looking infrared cameras for night vision, Maverick infrared cameras had to be used as the poor man's FLIR. Complementing the missiles under the fuselage of the A-10 are cluster bombs, Hydra 70 rocket pods, GBU-39 small diameter bomb, Paveway series bombs, JDAM, Joint Direct Attack Munitions, AGM-154 JSOW, Joint Standoff Weapon, and Wind-Corrected Munitions Dispenser. It'd be strange if an aircraft with a track record from the Gulf War, Allied force in Kosovo, the invasion of Afghanistan, Iraq, and dozens of other conflicts didn't receive any regular updates. In addition to the constant addition of new features like the Pave Penny Laser Receiver Unit in 1978, or Advanced Global Positioning System navigation systems, the entire fleet of 356 operational A-10s was modernized under the Precision Engagement Program and redesignated A-10C from 2005 to 2011. The update brought all-weather combat capabilities, improved FCS fire control system, ECM electronic countermeasures, intelligent bomb targeting, modern communications complex including Link 16 radio and satellite communications, and the cockpit features 2 multifunction displays, a HOTAS configuration that combines the F-16 flight stick with the F-15 throttle. The A-10 is loved and hated in almost equal measure. The U.S. Air Force has repeatedly tried to retire this aircraft, but Congress has repeatedly blocked these attempts, preventing the service from destroying the mighty Warthog. For example, in 2020, Congress not only rejected the request to withdraw the attack aircraft from service, but even the request to reduce the fleet of these devices by 42 units. And so that at least 218 Warthogs from the U.S. Air Force fleet can be operated until at least the 2030s, the Hog Upwing Replacement Program was launched back in 1999, whose main goal was to increase the aircraft's service life from the originally planned service life of 6,000 flight hours to 1,600 hours. The program also included replacing key cockpit instruments with a high-definition digital glass display, adding audible threat alerts, upgrading ARC 210 UHF-VHF communications, and adding Ethernet. Moreover, they repeatedly tried to stop the Hog Up program or forcefully reduce the cost by reducing the number of modernized wings. However, in February of 2016, Boeing, which is improving the A-10, announced that after installing Tusk, thick-skin urgent spares kitting wings, the Warthog's fleet would be able to adapt to future threats until 2040. So the legend is not yet destined to retire, at least not today. Do you think the Warthog deserves a place among the newest American fighters in the ranks of the U.S. Air Force, even in the 2040s? Share your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more content like today's. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.